Welcome back, folks. Thanks for tuning in for a brand new product review. Today we are looking at this guy right here. It is the latest available piece for the Kotobukiya Bad Batch line. Crosshair has finally arrived from shipping or from the sideshow warehouses. I'm not sure if Kotobukiya has started shipping them out yet, but as you know, you can never really judge or estimate who gets what product. The last piece or the last figure we are waiting for is Echo, and hopefully one day we get Omega or Omega, because obviously the Bad Batch isn't complete without Omega, but the main clones, we are almost complete at that with the main set that has been released and teased at Celebration and San Diego Comic-Con. Let's get right into it. So as with the rest of the figures, there really aren't too many accessories that come with it. All of them come with their swappable heads, which would be the helmeted heads, and that goes the same for Crosshair. So let's take a look at that first. And this helmet is so cool. It's so unique, and it's just menacing because you know he's such a straight shot and a sniper and a good shot at that. And this piece, the crosshair attachment, the magnifying, does rotate up and down, and that does come off. So when you first get it, this will be a separate piece, and you have a little decal right there. Simple, but does add quite the touch to the helmet, and you can line it up right there. Great paint job as usual. You have some scuff marks, some battle damage. And as always, you know, Kotobukiya really hits the nail on the head with all the paint details and the accuracy. And of course, being animated figures, you do have a little bit more precision and accuracy when it comes to that. Typically, the human replicas don't always have the best face sculpts, but we will take a closer look at them in just a moment. And before showing off, don't want to break it already. So yeah, this gun, the blaster, is a lot longer than the other one, so it does stick out quite a bit, so you do have to be careful with that. Now, I will say so far, this is one of two issues that I have faced with the Crosshair figure, where the helmet isn't exactly snug. And I can't recall for the other figures if it had this issue too, but when I pulled off the regular head, the regular Crosshair head, it was snug. You know, you don't really have to worry about it falling off. Granted, I won't worry about this falling off, but it doesn't quite fit in, and you can kind of see a gap here. I'll move my camera in just a moment to get a closer look, but there is a gap at the neckline where the chest armor is, so I'm not sure if the sculpt didn't come out well, if the molding or drying process wasn't done well, but the regular head does fit a lot better on it. And let's get a closer look at that before I put him back on. Again, amazing sculpt and paint and all the details. You have the nice little shadowing on the cheekbone to catch that difference. And of course, his crosshair tattoo, great hair, great detail and sculpt on that as well. And just putting this one back on, he does fit more snug and doesn't have that little gap. And as you might have seen, for some reason, this figure doesn't quite stay flat or stay secure. If you look at the other ones, I think Hunter has just a better pose, so although he has a little bit of movement here, he won't really move as much as, let's say, Crosshair does. Tech, he moves a little bit. Okay, so I guess I just forgotten before this review that these guys do move a little bit as well. But Rekka, because of his weight, he is significantly heavier than the other three. Just the figure itself has so much more weight where you're not going to get as much shaking. But I do feel like Crosshair has the most shaking of these three, who all do have that. And as usual, they do come with these pegs that do come apart or come off the platform, so you can really move these all around. But this seems like the most ideal position to have him right there. And if you see this, when you lean him back, he does have quite the gap between his feet and the platform, so he is leaning forward a bit. I don't know if maybe the peg wasn't designed right, or there's just something in the molding process, but yeah, you won't have to worry about it. I mean, he's not gonna fall over. I'm kind of pushing him forward now, so the pegs do catch him, but just something to be wary about. And just getting a quick 360 view of this, he looks fantastic. The blaster was already attached, but this is a little bit loose, so you do have to be careful with that, because all it's really hanging on to by is a little piece of rubber right there on the belt. And then the arms and the blaster were also separate pieces. Actually, now that I think about it, I think the backpack, no, actually, my bad. The backpack was attached, so you don't have to worry about that. So the only thing separate was the blaster with the hands and then the two heads. Let's go ahead and get a closer look. Like I said, just fantastic detail. They really do pay attention to all the animated features that we do see in the show. Platform is simple, but looks so great, especially that they can not necessarily connect, but they can touch and stay flush with one another. Got the Bad Batch symbol there. And of course, now Crosshair has his Imperial armor, and actually all of their armors have changed, but this is a nice look at their Season 1. And again, sorry about the shaking. I'll try to hold them down as I turn the figure around. We even got the detail on the back, some scuff marks and details on the backpack and the back of the armor. I'm not sure what these coins or medallions are. I really don't remember it being mentioned in the show, but maybe if I go back to it. But if anyone does recall, feel free to leave that in the comments. On this guy, the blaster is not removable. Great detail on the backpack with all the buttons, and these are sculpted too, so they're not just a sticker, but they look really cool. Actually, on camera, at first I thought they were just a sticker because I hadn't felt it before, but yeah, they are all sculpted, so that's really cool. It's a really neat detail. Just be careful with this. It's a little bit of a soft plastic, so you might snap it, but just be careful there. Got some amazing freckles and details on his face also. Just looks really cool, really great piece. And the blaster, they really paid attention to all the colors and details there. Again, stop shaking. And yeah, let me go ahead and put the other head on, and you can see even taking off that one, it was a little bit more snug. And when you put this one on, you can kind of see it there, not too much. But there we go. There's a better angle. You can see that gap right there, which isn't there for the regular head. And there's, wait, is that really? Oh, I think I just fixed my own issue. I think, I guess I wasn't pushing the head down all the way, which is, I guess, it depends. It's just the angle. If you're looking at it straight on, you don't really see the head. But then if you move your head down, like I just moved my camera, then yeah, this is a better angle. So there we go. Never mind. I guess the only issue then is the shaking, which is a somewhat common issue. But there, you all know now, just to make sure you push the head in all the way. I guess for some reason I wasn't pushing in the helmeted head. There we have the 4 members of the Bad Batch all standing together. Like I mentioned, the platforms don't connect, but they do align flush with one another. So it does offer some great, somewhat customization. You can even move them a little bit closer. Of course, you might be covering up 1 or 2 of the characters, but if you have limited space, luckily for me, I have a long shelf that does allow me to fit them all, but you can also do it that way. Personally, I like them all to be front and center because even though Hunter is the ringleader here or the team leader, and I do feel they are all equal. But there you have it, folks. The Crosshair Kotobukiya Bad Batch. The Kotobukiya Bad Batch Crosshair 1/7 scale figure is finally here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Hopefully we get Echo in the next couple months. But yeah, until then, feel free to leave any comments or questions you have. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching and stay tuned for future videos.